Let me show you how to build this simple kitchen floating bench. It doesn't require any expensive hardware, but it does require a nice sturdy wall with usable studs. This is a full build video. Let me know what you think and ask me anything in the comments. Okay, this is an 8-foot 2x6. On here, I have drawn the profile view of the bench. Here's what it looks like if you can't see the lines. This is the top. This is where my trim is gonna sit. I'm gonna have a little ledge on the top. The bench starts right here. From here to here is the angle of the back of my bench. And then down here, this little section that I need to cut out is going to be where the trim is on the bottom of my wall. So basically, I'm just gonna cut all this out, and I'm gonna do that 5 times. All this needs to come out. For this angled back piece that I need to cut out, I'm not gonna cut it here, but I'm finding the angle on my miter saw. See how it follows that line? Exactly 5 degrees. I'm not cutting it there, but I'm gonna cut a piece of scrap wood here. Got the 5-degree angle there. And there's that angle. Now I'm just going to drive this to the end of my board. There you go, against the fence. So the idea is a piece of plywood is going to sit here and a piece of plywood is going to sit at an angle there. Use the table saw again to cut to here. And I'm going to do the same thing for down here. Looking at it with a normal chair. This is basically right below this lip on the chair because I'm going to add plywood on top of that. And then the cushion is almost 4 inches thick. So it's going to be almost exactly how I'm sitting now. So I'm just going to go ahead and make 5 more of these. And for that, all I'm going to do is trace it. Trace. Boom. Cut, 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 cut. That one looks great. There we go, got all 5. They're not perfect, but again, this is just the inside framing. Attaching these things to the wall, kind of the odd part. So I got these long 8-inch screws. They're gonna go in this way, into the drywall, into the studs. The way you do that is just with a long drill bit right there and a little drill block. Put the drill block on top. You can clamp these down, but I just hold it. So I'm putting one here, and then one on the shorter end before it starts to slant, and then one at close to the very end. That should hold it against the wall, right? Right? I'm saying right because I don't know for sure, but I think it will. There we go. You can see it goes straight through, almost perfectly centered. It'd probably be better if I clamped it down. It's a lot easier when you clamp anyway. And the good thing is I know a lot about my studs in the wall. I have a picture of the inside of the wall because I built the house and I took a photo before I put the drywall up, and because I also did the electrical in my house. The last thing I want to do is I want to be able to put these in, sink them in enough without cracking the wood. So I'm going to open up these holes a little bit. I'm going to go fit these right now and get the exact location of these and probably screw them on. Okay, let me come back and get the camera. That's my first stud. I'm using some vice grips holding a nail. So there's the stud there. So I know this side of my nail is against the stud. I feel it. It's gonna sit right there. I'm gonna grab a level and make sure that's straight up and down. I'm gonna do that for the whole wall. The width of my bench is 7 feet, 2.5 inches. I'm gonna get the end studs first. 7 feet. Draw a line on the floor, and that should get me to the edge of that stud. My stud finder told me there's a stud right here. I have a stud right here next to this switch, and then there's a 24-inch gap because I'm 2 feet on center all the way to this side, and I planned my entire bench for the end to land right here, but there is nothing here. So I even have a picture to prove that there's nothing here. There's no stud. This is a photo of this wall before the drywall and insulation. So I have to figure out how to get to overhang by this much, which might be okay. This is the true end. And this is the stud end. This will not be attached to the wall. So I need to figure out how to reinforce that to this. So this entire project pretty much requires only 2x6s, but you're going to need 1 or 2 2x4s. Let me show you what the first 2x4 is for. Where did I put down my pencil? Gotta be joking me. So this is gonna be a 7-foot, 2.5-inch bracing member that goes across the 5 stud mounts we created. And over the top of that brace are gonna sit tons of horizontal pieces at 2 feet, 1 1/4 inch. I'm cutting 1 for now to make sure I get it right. I designed this entire bench in Fusion 360. Here's one drawing. We just cut this part. Now we're gonna work on this diagonal one. I have it at exactly 31.6 degrees because on the miter saw, you have a detent at 31.6 degrees for crown molding. See how it stops at 22.5 and then 31.6. That's why I chose that degree. And then I just need to cut that square to that, like that. Set it to 0. And there we go. I already cut the other side. As long as this works and fits well, this will just be my template, and I'll just trace this about, I think, how many times do I need this? So let me start attaching these to my studs. This is a scary moment. These I got on Amazon, pretty cheap. At Home Depot, they're $2 a piece and much higher quality and very straight. The ones on Amazon, almost all of them are slightly bent. They are structural screws, at least advertised to be structural screws, but I would not trust these on my house, but I'll trust them on a bench. Okay, here we go. Nice. I got some very heavy friends that might sit on this bench. Ethan, to name one of them. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Oh, yes. I had that planned for so long. It's exciting to see it actually work. Okay, these are my spacers between there. This one's gonna hit a stud. This one is not, but I need to tie them together. This first attachment is only temporary, just to get the spacing right. And now this full unit goes on the very end. This one's gonna get attached to the stud. And right now, that is weak. I got all stud supports in the wall, except that one, which I'm a little scared about. I did put one in the corner, trying to go down into the bottom plate behind the wall. And hopefully this gives it a lot of holding power. That's pretty dang tight. This is gonna go in here. There's gonna be one on each side of these studs. And this, that is dang near perfect. I can't ask for better than that. Flush on the front, flush on the top, no gap right here, no gap right there. So the idea is the seating load is pushing down here like that. I'm using 3-inch decking screws. See how it's coming off the wall up here? Oh god, not happy with that. Like if I sit, there's no way I'm comfortable sitting on that yet. Okay, so for this next side and all the other ones, the diagonal piece gets sandwiched. Man, look how good that angle is. I don't usually get good angles like that. And that will go here, and all this will get fastened with a big 4.5, 5-inch screw. Before I resort to putting a leg there, which I absolutely do not want to do, I'm going to see if I can notch this out, like right there and right there. I'm gonna cut out this much, and that will sit inside, and maybe it'll connect these two a little bit stronger than it is now. Got it notched out, got a board cut. That might stiffen it up. Just sitting on this, it's actually doing fine. It has a little bit of flex off the wall, but it's holding. More likely you're gonna be sitting right here anyway. And once I get the bench top on, it'll kind of hold everything together. What if I did like a T, one that way and one this way? Let's just go for it. So So the test is how big this gap becomes between the wall and that stud when I sit on it. There's still a gap, but it's actually a whole lot better. It's not going anywhere. Okay, they're all on. And they're all very straight. You can see how straight they are. For the end caps over here, it's slightly longer than the inside, so you get a 45 on the front for the face that's gonna go on there. But I also cut some 1/2-inch spacers to bring this out by 1/2 inch, like that. This was just a design decision, so it's overhanging by just 1/2 inch right there. One above it. And I'm gonna go do the other side. Between each of these is gonna be a storage compartment. The whole plywood bench top is gonna swing open. So underneath each one, I'm adding a support for the plywood that I'm putting inside of here. I also put a 45-degree angle on here. I'm not exactly sure why I had that in my design. I guess if you're looking underneath, it looks a little bit cleaner than a block of wood. Maybe that was my thinking when I designed it. The last step for this interior frame is the front face. I'm gonna go cut that. Look how beautiful the grain is on this board. Man, that's pretty. It's a perfect one for the face, even though it's all gonna be painted. Please fit, please. I don't know why, I just mess things up all the time, especially measurements for some reason to it. I feel like this is also gonna give me more stability out of this 16-inch overhang. So I'm gonna use some big screws, at least on this end. Okay, let's see if that stiffened it up a little bit. It's good here. Oh, I missed a screw. I gotta back that out and move over here. Wow, I did a good job. That thing is stiff. That's good. Okay, last thing I'm adding tonight is top blocking. Oh, this is an ugly piece of board too. I'm gonna have to get the next one. Ah! Oh, this is a bad one too. It's the freaking worst. Oh. And yes, I had to move my camera to get the shot. The hard part isn't done yet. I have all my measurements written down because apparently each opening in my bench are different sizes. All right, here you go. One side has a 10-degree cut on the circular saw. That's gonna go all the way up to the top. And there's gonna be a straight piece on the bottom. Okay, nice. A tad too loose. That one fits good, except there's a big gap in the back. There you go. I know you guys wanted to see it up close. No. Thanks, bro. You're welcome. There. And here's the last strip of plywood. For the bottom side, that's gonna go there. I'm tracing this on the back side, and then I'm gonna go cut it. There we go. Cut that. This was a happy accident. I cannot believe how perfectly 2x6 fits in there. And make sure this trim piece at the end is perfect, because we're gonna see that. There we go. Pretty good. Unscrew that in. For this last side part, or both side parts, I just cut a 2-foot board. Put it right there. I'm gonna trace this side. Okay, and that fits right there. I got that one piece sticking out, overhang here and overhang past here. Adds a nice little touch. Actually I gotta sand that down. Is this how you do it? And one here. Oh! On the bottom is where I really have to push because it curves, it slants, and then it goes straight down. For some reason, I made that decision. Oh! Oh, it's going right through the plywood. Ow! Right in my finger.
You okay?
Okay, so what I'm doing here is adding just some strip down on the table saw. This is gonna lift up my top trim piece by that little bit. So I have a tiny gap where light is gonna shine through. I'm gonna tape my LED strip right here. Nail these down, paint the top separately, get everything painted before I put the top on, put the strip of light on, and then attach the top. Okay, next up is the hinges. I have the back all the way against the bench. And put one here. I'm using these furniture ones so I don't know what these are called, but I finally landed with these so that this edge can be all the way against the back of the bench. This kind of pulls the top of the bench away from the back, pulls it out away and up, locks it that way. Here goes nothing. I'm just gonna go for it. Attached there. Oh my gosh, I can't figure this out. I can't do this with the camera on, it's impossible. I did end up with a tiny gap on the back, but it springs right up. It is heavy. You can hardly hold it.